Hi Cancer, welcome to April. This is Teresa from tarotbyt.com and I'm getting ready to do your April Love TarotScope. So first I want to just call in some good energy for this reading and create some sacred space. And this month we have a new moon in Aries on the 15th and a full moon in Scorpio on the 29th, which I'll get into later. So let's see what the cards have to say for Cancer for the month of April. What's going on? What does Cancer need to know about love and relationships for the month of April? What does Cancer need to know about love and relationships for the month of April? What does Cancer need to know about love and relationships for the month of April? What does Cancer need to know about love and relationships for the month of April? The King of Wands, the Three of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Lovers, the Death card, the Tower, the Queen of Wands, the Nine of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the Empress. Okay, so you start out the month with the King of Wands and the Three of Swords. This is a card, it seems like, okay, the King of Wands can represent, usually it can represent a fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, someone who is, but because it's the first card, it could also represent qualities within you. So the King of Wands is a card of leadership. Someone who is a take charge kind of person, very outspoken, can be a little bit bossy at times, but they have a good heart. It's just that they really like to help others and mentor others, but sometimes they can come across too strong at times. They can be very opinionated. So if that's you, you could be having issues in a relationship because your communication style might be a little bit too much. And the Three of Swords here, this is a card of severing ties. There could be, you could be going through a difficult time in a relationship where you feel like you have to cut out what's no longer working. And you could be stressed out about it. There could be, because the Nine of Swords is in the reading, the Lovers. You might be trying to decide between two paths. The Lovers, when the Lovers comes up, you're trying to choose between two situations. So it could be in a relationship situation. You could be trying to choose between two people. Like maybe you're in a relationship and you're trying to choose between two people. You're dating two people. Or you could be in a relationship that's not working and you're trying to decide, do I stay or do I go? Or you could be in a relationship and you decide, do I want to commit to this person? If you're not committed. But there are some issues surrounding it that could be resolved through communication, because the Six of Swords is here. But it seems like you've been having difficulties for a while and you've been trying to resolve them. But you're coming into a time where you're going to have to make some changes. With the Death card here, this is a card of transformation. And the Tower can represent breaking down and rebuilding. So for some of you if you've been existing in a relationship where you're just not happy and you can't be yourself, maybe there's someone in your life that's making too many demands on you or too bossy. If it's not you, it could be that you're dealing with someone who's very bossy, very domineering. And you're feeling like, I can't be myself, I can't be who I am, I feel oppressed, I feel trapped, I feel stuck. The Tower can break you out of that, where you're following a path. Like you break out of something where you're feeling oppressed so that you could rebuild in a better direction. Queen of Wands is here. So this could be someone that you're dealing with who could be a fire sign also. It seems like there are two strong personalities. This person, the Queen of Wands, is a leader person, someone who's very good at leading. But sometimes this could be a person who will stop at nothing to get her way. So one of you may be trying really hard. You might be dealing with someone who, like, the ends justifies the means. And maybe both people are being too, like, both people want to control a relationship. Both people want to be in a position of power. And you're not sharing the power. And that's causing conflict. This could also be someone that you feel attracted to. Could be a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But whatever it is, it's a person who's very good at leadership, very good at managing things, very good at running, like, the house and running a business, like juggling work and home. And maybe if it's you, if this is you, if this represents you, you're doubting your ability to do it. Maybe you feel like you're just working too hard. Something's got to give. Maybe you're trying to, you've been working really hard at work and it's affecting your relationship. Or a relationship that's going through some difficulties is affecting your attitude at work. Whatever it is, you're under a lot of mental stress, or the person that you're involved with, because this is the Nine of Swords. It's someone who is up at night thinking and feeling guilty. So there could be some issue that you feel guilty about, or someone is really stressed out mentally. I feel like there are pressures from outside the relationship that's causing problems. And you have to look deeper. You have to have a difficult conversation with someone, because the Page of Swords is here. You could be dealing with someone who's challenging. It could be a child, even, that's causing problems. Or it could be challenging communication. So it's not so much what you say, but how you say it. Maybe you're feeling hurt. With the Three of Swords, sometimes you just feel hurt. You feel like something happened that really hurt your feelings, or you're feeling extra sensitive. Maybe someone was harsh with you. Maybe there was harsh communication, and your feelings are feeling bruised in some way. And maybe you're just waking up to the reality of something. With the King facing the past, I feel like you might be looking at your past, reevaluating relationships that you've been in, and trying to make sense of it, like not knowing what to do, not knowing how to go on. Sometimes with the Nine of Swords, though, a lot of the worries that you, like, because Cancer has a tendency to worry. And you have a tendency sometimes to imagine things to be worse than what they are. So instead of letting your mind race and imagine all these possibilities, you really need to sit down and talk to the person. Because I feel that you need to get at the truth. You can't just go by the surface of what the appearance of things. You have to talk to someone and have a difficult conversation. And find out where you stand in a relationship. And find out what the problem is, if there is a problem. So if there's something that's really upsetting you, you need to sit down and talk to that person. And you may not like everything that you hear, but at least you will know what the truth is, and you'll know where to go from there. Because as an outcome card, you have the Empress. So you're very attached to family. Family is very important to you, and you don't want to disrupt that. But you may be dealing with someone in a relationship. One of you may be too much with the other. Like, you may feel smothered in a relationship. You may feel that your partner is being overbearing or overly motherly, whether it's a male or female. Like, if you're the female, you might be mothering your partner too much. If you're the male, you may feel that your partner, you want to mate. You don't want a mother, And so there could be some issues with that, where you feel like, you're being treated like a child. Or you're being the mother. You're over worrying too much about the other person. You're too doting. You might need to let the person have a little space and not be so clingy. Maybe you're being too because Cancer is a very nurturing sign, very caring sign. And sometimes you may overdo that in the caring department. and that person that you're dealing with may feel smothered. So you want to give that person some space. But I feel like you have some issues to work out in April in relationship. And you need to see the truth, and you need to communicate and get at the truth. And if a relationship, once that truth comes out, you may have to restructure your relationship along healthier lines, along different lines. You can rebuild. I don't think it's a total disaster, but there may be some things that need to be cut away. You may need to cut out some bad habits, or, you know, whatever is not working. You have to restructure your relationship so that it works in a healthier way, so that both partners get what they need. And if you can't work that out, then you may decide to separate. But hopefully it won't come to that. Hopefully you can work things out and communicate your needs, and you can come to some type of compromise. But let's see what the astrology has to say about this. So you have a new moon in your career sector, the 10th house. And you have Saturn, Mars, and Pluto in your 7th house. So that's major transformation in relationships. You might be going through a difficult time in a relationship. There could be power struggles. There could be arguments. There could be, you may feel like the relationship is too heavy. It's too restrictive. And with the new moon in the 10th house represents career, but it also represents your status. So you may feel like, I want a new start. And your relationship problems may go public. Like, especially with this Page of Swords here, there could be some gossip or spying. You have to be careful who you talk to, because you don't want people gossiping about you. At the same time, you have Venus and Jupiter opposing each other from the 11th and 5th house. So there could be, it could be that there's another, you may have a new romance that's interfering with the current relationship. So you don't, and that's making you feel optimistic, but at the same time it's causing disruption. I mean, what could happen though, some of you may have a new love that's influencing your relationship, your current relationship, and you may feel like breaking out of a current oppressive situation to pursue this new relationship. But, Venus and Jupiter are opposing each other. So you don't want to be overly optimistic. You don't want to go over the top with that. You want to be, be careful with decisions you make, because you won't be able to change them with the Lovers. When the Lovers comes up in a reading, you have to make a serious decision. You have to make some serious choices. And once you choose a path, you may not be able to go back on it. So be sure that whatever you're choosing is what you really want. And look realistically at all your options before you break a relationship or destroy something. At the same time, so with the new moon in the 11th house, you could have a wish fulfilled or a dream fulfilled. It could mean a new beginning in career that's bringing greater abundance to your life. Because the 11th house is the money you earn from the work that you do. And Venus is there, so it's bringing abundance. It's bringing, you might be getting along with work colleagues better. Or you may be working with a group of people that you really enjoy working with. Mercury is also in the 11th house, and it's retrograding, so you may revisit a dream that you had. You may have had a dream that you didn't fulfill in the past, but you want to, go back to it. So there could be an old love that comes back into your life, an old flame that could be disruptive in a relationship. Because if it's like you're going through a problem in your current partnership, and then this other opportunity comes back that's kind of tempting, and you want to be careful with that. Because whatever decisions you make are going to be permanent, because Saturn is involved, and Saturn means, it's going to be in place for a long time. The problems that you might be having in a relationship have to revolve around responsibility and what's expected of you. So if you're not fulfilling your responsibilities, or someone is not fulfilling their responsibilities in a relationship, you could be having some issues around that. You know, what am I expected to do? What are you expected to do? The full moon in Scorpio happens in your 5th and 11th houses again, and Saturn's in your 7th. So there are issues around relationship. You could, it's like make or break it time. And you have to make a choice what you want to do. Do you want to stick with the current situation? You can work, if you can work through it, you can establish a strong partnership. If you decide to leave, there could be a new love in the wings. So, but you want to make your decisions carefully, because whatever you decide around this time is going to be permanent because Saturn is involved. So choose wisely. That's all I have to say, Cancer. If you're in a situation where you're really not happy and you're being abused, or you're in a situation that's not healthy for you, this could break you out of it. It may be time for a change. But if you're just going through a difficult time and you really want to work at it, communication is key. And you could use communication to restructure a relationship so that it works better for both of you. And maybe it's a situation where you just need to add more creativity in your life. Maybe you need to have some more fun. Maybe you've been working too hard and you haven't been having enough fun, and it's affecting your relationship. So that could be a situation too that can help the situation. If you leave time, don't work so hard. Leave some time for fun. Leave some time for romance. You get into a routine with partners, especially if you're married, where you just, it's like every same old, and it's always work and work, work. Maybe you need to go away with your partner and, have a romance again. Bring romance back into your relationship. Whatever you decide to do, choose wisely. Remember, you can create the happy home that you want, but you may have to work through some issues about responsibility, and you may have to work through some power struggles to get there. But you can do it, Cancer. Just don't smother, don't hold on too tightly. Sometimes you have to let go. Cancer is a very, they don't like to let go of things that they get close to, so it's hard to make changes. But sometimes change is necessary to bring life into your, new life into your relationship. So lighten up on any control issues and learn how to communicate your needs, and you can get through this. So that's my reading for the month of April. I wish you luck and love, and I wish you to make the right choices that bring happiness to everyone that's involved. And focus on this Empress. Focus on creating the home, the happy home that you want and that you cherish. And I will talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.